What's up, everybody? My name is Parasite. Welcome back to the Jose Mourinho Challenge. We are back, and we are still at Sporting, but don't worry. One click of this continue button, and we will be at our new club. I have signed a contract. We are about to join our first club in a top 5 league, and it will be revealed to you in a minute. First, I want to go through and look back on Sporting. We've spent 7.5 years here, so I want to appreciate it a little bit because, you know, there's been some frustrating times, definitely quite a few frustrating times, but overall, I've enjoyed it. You know, coming into this save, before I started this save, I didn't really have any sort of affiliation or appreciation for any team in Portugal. I didn't really care about any of them. But after this, you know what? If I'm ever going to root for a team from Portugal, it's going to be Sporting. I've enjoyed the team. I've enjoyed the players. So look where we're currently at with Sporting. We are on January 16th, 2030, the middle of our 8th season here at Sporting. I haven't shown any of the games because they don't mean anything. These games aren't important because we've already achieved everything we can at Sporting. But it's been another good season. We are walking the league for the second consecutive season. Benfica and Porto gave it right back to us for the first 4 or 5 years of this save. They were up there with us the entire time, no matter how well we did. We went unbeaten, and Benfica almost still beat us to the title. But these past 2 years, we've really established ourselves as one of the best clubs in Europe, and by far the best club in Portugal. In the Champions League, we won our group once again, and we've got Ajax in the first knockout round. We won the Super Cup, we won the Super Taça, and we're still in the Taça de Portugal and the Allianz Cup. If you look at the schedule, it's been a pretty good season. We've got a couple little hiccups here, but really only one in the league. We drew against Porto 1-1. Other than that, we've won every other league game. In the Champions League, it looked like we might not actually qualify for the group for a bit. We drew with Leipzig after we beat Milan. We drew with Leipzig 0-0. We should have won. We were the much better team. And then we lost to Villarreal away from home 2-1, which we just weren't very good on the day. They'd still scored in the 90th minute, and it wasn't fully deserved. After that, I was actually worried we were not even going to qualify. For the first time ever, we weren't going to qualify from a Champions League group. But we beat Leipzig, and we beat Milan, and that made sure we topped our group on 13 points. Villarreal finished second with 9. And so we won our group for, the 5th season or so. We've won almost every single year. Manchester United, the only team to have beat us to the top of a Champions League group. And it only happened once. But in the rest of the competitions, we've done really well. Like I said, we've been on a really good winning streak since that draw with Porto. We've won a lot of games in a row, and a lot of them very convincingly. 4-0 against Gil Vicente, 6-0 against Moreirense, 5-1 against Vizela, 6-1 against Guimarães, 8-0 against Rio Ave, and I think we're up 6-0 at halftime. We are just smashing teams. In our last 2 games, we beat Boavista 4-0. In our final game at Sporting, we played Braga away from home, and we smashed them 4-0. We were 3-0 up, they had a sending off, and then we scored the corresponding penalty to make it 4, and then we coasted home. We finished the season with we finished our time here at Sporting, not the season. Season's still going on for the next manager, but we finished our time here with 3 straight wins, conceding 0, including a win over Benfica 2-0. That was nice. A few more quick things I want to look at before we move on. I don't want to drag things out, but the finances, we left them on a pretty good position. They have $407 million in the overall balance. I doubt there's many, if any, clubs in Europe with higher balance than we have. That is very high. Very high. And our transfer budget's even higher. The highest I think I've ever seen. $427 million in the transfer budget. I could not spend that if I tried. That's a lot of freaking money. And whoever the next manager is, he's going to be in a very good position because that's a lot of money. And I'm sure he's probably going to raise even more, because I'm expecting a little bit of an exodus after I leave. There are already a lot of players that are unhappy and wanting to leave because apparently they don't like being the best team in Europe. Apparently they just want money. I mean, I understand. I'm getting a pay rise too. But yeah, I expect this transfer budget to go to a pretty high level. I'm thinking 600 million, possibly. Interesting to see how he uses that money and if he actually reinvests it into players, because they don't need it for the balance, but obviously you don't want to spend all of it. So he's going to be in a really good position. If we look at my history, I have played 438 games here at Sporting, won 336 of them, drawn 63, and only lost 39. So I have won or drawn 399 out of 438 games. I think that's pretty good. It's a 76% win percentage. And we have scored 1,126 goals, conceded 280 for a positive 846 goal difference. Also feels like it's pretty good. Won 17 cups in 7.5 years and 5 leagues. I think that's pretty good. I'm okay with that. In terms of time we spent here, 2,855 days. I've won 35 awards and made almost $8 million. Spent 0 days on holiday. I have bought 74 players for $621 million, but I've sold 113 for $1.27 billion. That's a lot of money. Quick look at my job history. Obviously, I've only been at one club, but that's about to change. Our first season, we only played like 4 games, so we didn't win anything, but I put that down to the old manager. He sucked. Since then, though, we've won an award or a competition in every single season, at least 2 in terms of wins in every single season, competitions. We only won 1 award back in 2027, after which we were offered Liverpool job and Real Madrid job, but apparently after we won the Champions League and everything else possible, we aren't as high reputation. We didn't get offered those jobs for whatever reason. I'll get into that later. Finally, milestones. Going from the start. So obviously 2022, we were hired. In our first full season, we won the league. We won the Europa Conference League. And that was enough to automatically get me into the American Hall of Fame, which is kind of sad. Our second season, we continued winning the league, the cup for the first time. We won the Allianz Cup. We entered the Portugal Hall of Fame in 2025. In 2026, we had an unbeaten season, and that made me the greatest American manager of all time, apparently. Still not great for American managers. After that, we continued just winning everything, pretty much, the next 2 years. And then 2029, the best season we've had here. We reached the top of the Portugal Hall of Fame by winning the league, the Champions League, and everything else possible. We also entered the European and Worldwide Hall of Fame. If we go to the Hall of Fame, I am currently 19th. The 19th greatest manager of all time, apparently, on about 2,100 points. But I'm chasing 5th. That's Jose Mourinho. He's on 3,000. And I want to jump him. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to emulate him, but I would still like to get up to 5th or 4th or however high I can go. But a little bit of a spoiler for our future team. I'll be revealing here in a couple seconds, but it's actually a former Jose Mourinho managed team. So in his career, he managed Real Madrid, United, Inter, Porto. Obviously, I'm not going to Porto, and Chelsea. And one of those 4 teams is my new club. So which one is it? I'm not going to tease you any longer. One click, and we'll all know. Are you ready? I don't know if I am. I've enjoyed my time at Sporting, and it's kind of bittersweet to leave. But we need to do it. And so let's do it. Continue. Welcome to... Okay, the dramatic pause is a little too much here. Welcome to Chelsea. I am the new Chelsea manager. I have left Sporting to go to the Blues, and I'm pretty okay with it. I think I'm going to do a pretty good job here. I think I'm pretty happy with getting the Chelsea job. I had basically no other offers. Like, there still weren't many big jobs available. Obviously, we're kind of mid-January. And the only other job of any real note that became available, the Atletico Madrid job did, but I didn't really want it. The Liverpool job, once again, became available. If you didn't watch my update, I had resigned at one point and holidayed forward, and I couldn't get the Liverpool job, even though I was clearly the most qualified candidate. And I thought it was just because I was unemployed. Apparently, they're just stupid or just hate me for whatever reason. They hate Americans. I don't know. Even though think they have American owners or something. I don't know. But again, they became available once again. I declared interest. I offered. I applied for it, and I got the interview. And I answered it honestly. Didn't get the job, so I went back and answered everything positive possible. I took as least amount of money as physically possible. I guaranteed to win the league, even though we're like 8th place, like 10, 15 points behind the top. I guaranteed we would win the league, and they still didn't want me to be the manager. Chelsea are 9th in the Premier League. They're knocked out of the EFL Cup. They're in the 4th round of the FA Cup, and they're not in any European competition, which is why I was surprised that Lampard wasn't sacked before. After the end of last season, when he didn't qualify for Europe, he kept the job, I guess because he's a legend there. But it looked like they might be missing out on European football once again, and so they finally did sack him. And I'm going to take over, seeing if I can do better, and I think I can, because the team's pretty good. If we look at the team, Lukaku's still there, Mount is still there, Havertz is still there, Reece James is still there, Mendy is still there, but The rest of the team, quite a bit changed. Yeremy Pino is there, and he's one of their better players. Elias Mariba is there, is really good. Kessie is 33, but he's still pretty good. Cerezo, I think I've shown him once before. He's like one of the better region center backs in the game. He's really good. And yeah, the team's still pretty good, but you got some older players. Mendy's 36 or something like that. Lukaku's 37, I think. So there's still work to be done here. In terms of the vision, they want me to play attacking football. Apparently I do that. Develop players using the club's youth system. Do that pretty well. Entertaining. Do that as well. Signing in players. Yep. I think all this sounds like me. They want me to qualify for the Europa League, which is top, what, 6? Like 5th and 6th, their Europa League spots. Currently in 9th. I think we're about 5-6 points off. I think it's doable. They want you to reach the final of the FA Cup. We'll see. But they give me a 4-year deal. So I think even if I just miss out on Europa League, if I get Europa Conference League, which is kind of the minimum expectation I have for myself, then I think I'll still keep my job. Hopefully, though. So here we are. It's official. And a lot of my sporting staff are going to be joining me, including my assistant manager, João Sacramento. He is going to be joining me as my assistant manager once again. I'm going to take him wherever I go, hopefully. And we've got a lot of other staff that are looking to join. And these are just the ones that need work permits. There are some other ones that are actually English that have joined that don't need the work permits, obviously. Guys like, let me see here. Jamie Vardy. He was my under-23s coach at Sporting, and he's joined to be an actual coach here at Chelsea. I don't think I've ever shown that I signed him as a coach, but he's actually really freaking good. John White, I think, was with me at Sporting. Yeah, he's another Englishman that I had. Warren Joyce, another English coach I had. Apparently, English coaches are just really good because, like, Critchley, another English coach I had at Sporting that's really freaking good. And so I've brought them all along with me, including some scouts have joined me as well. Let's see here. No, McLaughlin was there. Not as many scouts, I don't think. I think most of them, if not all of them, needed the work permits. So I don't think any of these really came from me in terms of recruiting staff and medical staff. I think maybe one or two. Kirby, I think. Did he join? Was he? Yeah, I knew it. Richard Kirby came with me as a sports scientist. And we had some under 23s coaches as well. Just, I didn't want to get rid of like all of Chelsea's staff to bring in better staff. For the positions I felt like I really needed to, like coaches and scouts, I kind of did. But I wanted to kind of keep what they had. I didn't want to completely pillage Sporting. So basically what I did is just kind of fill the gaps they had, because they had a lot of open spots in their staff. And so I filled them with the staff we had, which was really good. So now let's look through the squad we have here at Chelsea. We saw a little bit of it in the preview, but we'll go by position by position. Our starting goalkeeper is still Edouard Mendy, and he's still pretty good. Perazo's better, but Mendy's still pretty good, but at 37, I don't know. He'll probably retire in the next, I would think, the next 3 years at the very latest. So goalkeeper is definitely a position I need to consider. And their backup is actually a former Sporting goalkeeper, Luis Maximiano, a player I actually had on my radar that, you know, if we needed a homegrown player, he's homegrown at Sporting, I could have brought him in. But he actually moved to Chelsea for like 20 million to be a backup, which seems crazy to me, but he's an okay backup. Right back, Reece James is still there, and I don't have any needs at right back because he's really good. He's only 30, and he's just a really good right back, one of the better ones in the game. So I'm very happy with Reece James. His backup is Jimmy Wong, who's a regen, I think Hong Kong and English regen that I think did at Chelsea. He did. So he's homegrown at Chelsea. And it says he can play center back. It's like natural at center back, but he's 5'7" with 5 jumping reach. So definitely never playing him there. Did they play him at center back? Tactics. They did. He made 12 starts at center back. Maybe that's why Lampard got fired. Should probably not start a 5'7" center back with 5 jumping reach. Might be crazy. It's not even that amazing of a right back. I mean, going forward, he doesn't bring a whole lot, but he's got some pretty good mentals, some pretty good physicals. Defensively, he's fine. He's a decent enough passer. Fine for a backup. They also have Kalulu, who is probably better at right back. He's currently injured, but we don't have a lot of center backs here. So he's probably going to be a backup center back for us that can also play right back. He's actually pretty dang good. I think Kalulu is actually really good. Obviously not as good as Reece James, but really good backup to have. At center back, our main two, and almost our only two, other than Kalulu, I'm not even going to consider Wong, is Cerezo, who is that, I think he came from Atletico Madrid. Yes. They bought him for 88 million. He's really good. You know, ball playing center back, only 6 foot tall, but he's got decent enough jumping reach, really good defender, positioning of 18, concentration of 18. Yeah, he's Valentin Cerezo is very good. Very, very good. And he's joined by Benoit Badiashile, who is a guy I really wanted at Sporting, but I never could afford him. He went on to Liverpool for 57 and then Chelsea for 75. And he's good. He's not crazy good, but he's good. Like, as a defender, I think he's pretty comparable to Ruan in terms of physicals and defensive attributes. He's more of a ball player than Ruan is. 15 composure, 13 passing. But yeah, he's a solid player, and he's also 6'4", so he's got that going for him. I think we're fine at starting center back, but we definitely need some depth. Left back, we also need depth because we have one. We literally have one left-footed player that can play left back, and that's Matteo Ruggeri. And he's solid. He's good. Not exceptional. So that would be a position I would look to improve on, possibly starting left back. He is only 27, so he'd be fine as a backup, but probably want somebody a little bit better if I'm going to try to win a Champions League and a Premier League here. Omar McCall is just a region that I'm probably going to be moving on because he's 24 and he's not very good. He's on 135K a week. Get rid. Kessie is still here, 33 years old. Really good player. More of a defensive ball-winning midfielder option. Can pass still, too. Just not the best vision. Good penalty taker, which is nice. But we've got a lot of midfielders. It's actually tough to fit them all in. Like, I have come up with the tactic I think I'm going to use. I think our 4-3-3 that we use as Sporting is going to be an option with the players we've got, but it's not going to be what I start with. Well, in our midfield, we've got Kessie. Mount can be a midfielder or like an attacking wide player. I think he'll play both for us. I don't know if he'll actually start, but he'll definitely still play a lot. He's still pretty good, 31 years old, obviously homegrown. They have Eduardo Camavinga, who, another reason why I think Lampard was sacked is because he just didn't use him. He made 4 starts in the league this year. Like, it's Camavinga. Like, he's really good. Why are you not using this guy? Like, he's probably going to start for me because he's a good player, and you should probably use good players. Mariba, another midfielder they have, very good. Ilaix Mariba is amazing, and he's going to be a very big part of what we do in our midfield. He has to start at 26 years old with that kind of ability. Dude's got to start, and he's going to be really good for us. And they've also got Gavi, another pretty young, 25-year-old, really good midfielder. Like, their midfield is stacked with good young players between Mariba, Gavi, and Camavinga. Those are going to be my 3 midfielders. Obviously, we've still got some more veteran guys that are still really good, like Kessie and Mount. But these guys are beasts, and we should be doing better than we currently are with these 3 in the midfield, and what we've got in defense, and what we've got in attack. Kai Havertz is still here. He's, by star rating, their best player. I don't know if I agree with that, but he can play multiple roles. I think he can be a pretty versatile piece for us. Can play out wide, can play up top if we need to play with 3 strikers. He can be that complete forward, I think. He's got the passing ability, obviously. Good enough in the air, 15 jumping reach, a little bit of size. Heading's not great, but good dribbling as well. I think he'd be a good complete forward if we need him to be. And then we've also got Raheem Sterling here at 35, but his physicals are still really good. Like, I've never really rated Raheem Sterling in FM, but we'll see what he can do for us as a wide option, or even as like an advanced forward in our 4-3-3, possibly. Callum Hudson-Odoi is another player that's still here. Never really developed to be anything that great. His numbers aren't very good, but as a homegrown option, as a depth piece, he's 29. His weight is extremely high. So if we had more homegrown players, it would be a player I'd look to move on, but we don't. We don't have many. So I might need to keep Callum Hudson-Odoi around as a wide option. Yeremy Pino is what I think is our best player based on his production and his attributes. Really good player, 27 years old. Another player in his prime, will be for a few more years. Can play out wide, can play through the middle as an advanced forward possibly. Doesn't have the size to play complete forward, but just a really good, well-rounded player. Can do everything. Can cross, can finish, can dribble, can pass. Literally can do everything. Elite forward, and has produced for them. He's been one of their better players, getting double-digit goals for 5 straight seasons before he kind of fell off the last year. Looks like he's back to getting double-digit goals this year and having one of his best seasons ever. So he's going to be central at what we do. Zvonarek is a player I didn't really know of, but 24-year-old Croatian, okay player. Can play out wide, can play midfield if needed to. I mean, he's okay. I don't know if he's worth 210K a week, but he's got a contract till 2033. If I can offload him, maybe I will. He does have 19 vision, which is unique, but not an exceptional player, not homegrown. We'll see. His versatility is nice. Finally, they've got Alex Barber, who is a winger or striker. He's probably going to be, for now, be a backup striker. They're currently trying to sell him, but we don't have a backup striker. If Havertz starts, if Pino starts, which is what I plan on doing, and Lukaku obviously starts, there's literally no backup striker. So this guy kind of has to be it. So he's okay as a striker. Definitely a position I need to look to improve, at least backup, if not a starting striker, because Lukaku is 36. So he's still good. Like, his physicals are still really good. His mentals are still amazing, obviously. His technicals are still really good. But he's 36. You got to be worried about the drop-off coming. And based on his production, it looks like it's going to. Like, he had a really bad year last year. He's had a bounce-back year this year a little bit. But I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with Romelu Lukaku, but I definitely want somebody else as an option. And we've got 4 pretty good strikers back at Sporting. So one of them, at least one of them, might be joining us. So in terms of tactic and lineup, this is what I'm going to plan on starting with at least. I want to make this 4-3-3 work because I think it's what works best with the players Chelsea has. It's not really been a formation I've had a lot of success with recently, especially mostly because I never seem to get this central deep lying or false 9 forward to work. And we'll try again. Like, Lukaku fits it pretty well as deep lying forward. He's got really good hold up play, decent enough passer. I think he can do the job. It's just, can I get it to work? But getting Yeremy Pino running is kind of the most important thing, and he's a very good inside forward. He can't play striker, but I think this is his best position, so this is where I want to use him. Havertz is going to play on the right-hand side as an inside forward on support. Kind of like playing kind of similar to like an advanced playmaker, but, you know, he's got the goal-scoring ability as well, so he's getting a little bit more freedom there. And we've got advanced playmaker here with Gavi next to the centerman attack for Ilaix Mariba. Gavi, very good playmaker, just very good. Dribbling's amazing, passing and vision both really good. Really good physical ability as well. I think he's a really good advanced playmaker. And Mariba, really good central mid on attack. His finishing's not insane, 13, but he has 16 long shots. He's a good passer as well. He's got really good he's just amazing. And then Camavinga is the deep lying playmaker on defend, which is what I think his best role is in that defensive midfielder, especially because he has basically nothing going forward. 8 finishing, 9 long shots, 9 crossing. Like, he's just there to pass and tackle. That's what he's good at. He's really good physicals as well, but passing and tackling is his forte. I consider playing him as like a halfback, and that might be still something I do, but that's something I have to test with. James, a right back, obviously, fullback attack. He's really good going forward. He's got 17 crossing, really good physical ability, so I want him getting forward as much as possible. And you've got a support on this side with Havertz, having the attacking on this side as well. I kind of like to balance that like I have on the left-hand side. Pino on attack, Ruggeri on support, who is probably better as a supportive player. He's got decent passing, decent crossing without being exceptional, decent defender. And then Cerezo is the ball player. Betty Chile just as a normal central defender. He can play ball player, but I think Cerezo is better at it. Better passing. I don't know. Betty Chile does have better composure. I'm second guessing myself now. And he has better first touch. Decisions of 12 though worries me, while Cerezo's is 16. So I think I'm going to go with Cerezo as the ball player. Betty Chile is the central defender. And then Mendy, sweeper keeper on defend. In terms of instructions, it's actually pretty similar to our 4-3-3 possession, which is kind of another option I have. If you look at the instructions, it's actually extremely similar in terms of out of possession or in possession. Shorter passing, lower tempo, play out of defense, work the ball in the box, wide, exactly the same. In transition, also exactly the same. Counter press and roll out, the only thing we have. I'm still looking to play a possession game. It worked well at Sporting, and I think we have the players to do it as well. We have really good passers in the midfield, in defense, in attack, everywhere. Everyone's pretty much a really good passer. So I think it makes a lot of sense. In that position's where there's the only difference, and that's the defensive width. I've gone to outside because we actually have wingers to help defend out wide. So I think forcing them wide makes sense. But we're still pushing really high up, using the offside trap, short goalkeeper distribution, staying on our feet, and triggering the press much more often. So that is what I'm going to start with. But if it doesn't work, we do have this option because Havertz and Pino can play striker. I would play Pino through the middle as that advanced forward. He's only like, what, 5'9", 5'8", so he can't play complete forward. But Havertz, big enough to do it, and Lukaku obviously can do it. So this front three, fine. Midfield pairing, I think Mariba can do fine as that Mazzala. Gavi, obviously, I have him as an advanced playmaker, and I think Camavinga could be a really good centerman defend as well. Both fullbacks think play wingback fine. Yeah, I think this would work just as well. Just, I think Havertz is probably better out wide than up top, maybe. I don't know. I'm just got to play with it. Obviously, I I want to change things up a little bit. I don't want to keep doing the same thing every single season, which is why I got this other one, but I'm going to do what works. And so if this doesn't work, I'll go back to what I know does. And we've got our Champions League version as well, where it's a little bit higher tempo, a little bit more defensive, counterattacking, just when we need it, if we need it. All right, now that we got that settled, I am going to play a game. We haven't played a game in a while in the Jose Mourinho Challenge, so I did want to bring one today. Even though it might make the video a little bit longer than I'd like, I still think I want to play a game, especially based on who we have coming up. Our next opponent, of course, is Liverpool. The team that turned me down, that would not, under any circumstance, offer me the job, are my first team I take on away from home. Unfortunately, their manager didn't join immediately. They chose to sign, if I go to Milan, he is the current Milan manager, and he joins at the end of the year, which just makes even less sense. They're willing to, again, waste an entire year to hire someone massively less qualified. But Arne Slot is going to become their manager. And again, it just makes no sense because he hasn't won a cup in 6 years. In 2024, he won the Europa League with Roma. Since then, all he's done is get sacked. So obviously, he should get the Liverpool job. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to beat him, but at least I could smash Liverpool and show the board they should have hired me. Hopefully, at least. All right, it is time to play our first game as Chelsea manager. This is a squad we're going with. Unfortunately, just the day before the match, Reece James got injured, which is just awesome. He's out 4 to 6 weeks, which is exactly what we need when we have basically no defenders. We literally don't have a single defender on the bench. I think I've recognized an issue. Only 2 injuries, and now we have no backup defensive players. Don't know what Lampard was thinking there. So definitely gonna need to bring in 3-4 defenders at the very least. Good Lord, this team has no depth. And we don't even have a defender in the under 21s or under 18s that is higher than 1.5 stars. There is literally no other competent defensive player at this team. So Jimmy Wong's gonna have to play right back, which, okay, I mean, at least it was the right back and not a center back, which we have no other center backs, or a left back, which we have no other left backs. So for right now, our backup center back option is probably Frank Kessie, who can't play there. Our backup left back option is probably Camavinga, who can't play there. Our backup right back option is probably Cerezo, I think, who can play there, and then Kessie plays center back where he can't play. So this is not ideal, but I mean, I've got a little bit left of a transfer window where I'm going to be bringing in players. We've got some money to do it too. We have, if I go to our finances, 296 million in the transfer budget. 177 million in the balance, a wage budget of about 500, 600K. So there's definitely quite a bit of room to get stuff done. And I'm going to be making quite a few transfers because this team needs it. We're 16 minutes in and we finally have our first highlight. Both teams with 1 shot, 0 on target. Pretty cagey game so far. Rhoda has the ball now. They're left winger. And he's going to look for a ball and he finds Haaland. That is the danger man. Obviously, Erling Haaland, one of the best players in the game. If Liverpool are going to win, it's probably going to be because of Erling Haaland or probably also Kylian Mbappe. Wow, this is the second highlight. We're 42 minutes in. Not a great half of football for either team. Neither team has really created anything. We don't have a shot on target. They have 1. 0.4 XG to 0.3, and they nearly have the lead. And surprise, surprise, it was Erling Haaland. But fortunately, a good save from Edouard Mendy. We are playing our 4-3-3 wide, but we're not playing our possession style, obviously, because we're away against Liverpool. That seems dumb. So I'm playing our more, like our Champions League version of our 4-3-3. The instructions for that, at least, the higher tempo, a little bit more direct, a little bit more counterattacking. Playing that style with this 4-3-3 wide look. So far, it hasn't worked, but there's still a lot of game left. This will probably be the last highlight of the game as well. We're about 44.5 minutes in. Stoppage time of the half will be basically all that's left. They've got Fabinho and Rice at center back, which is interesting. 2 natural midfielders. Rhoda gets played in through Haaland, and he's going to have the ball at the byline once again. And Jimmy Wong, who has to come in because of an injured Reece James, gives away a penalty and basically stoppage time of the first half. Well, he really endeared me to him so far. Good Lord. That's penalty. Yeah, that's penalty. And 45.5 minutes in, it's 1-0 to Liverpool because Jimmy Wong is an absolute twat. And so that's how the half ends. Both of us basically do nothing, but Jimmy Wong gives them a free goal. And so Liverpool have the lead. Almost all their XG is just the penalty, but we've been god-awful. I can kind of understand why this team is doing terribly right now. We have an immediate highlight in the second half, though. We still haven't a highlight for us yet. I would like to see one of those, please. Liverpool attacking down this right-hand side. Gonna look for Haaland, but Badiashile picks it out. Good interception by Badiashile. He's gonna find Lukaku. Are we gonna have a highlight? Cerezo finds Badiashile. Got a lot better ball players here than we did at Sporting. See if they can actually do something here. Lukaku getting through on goal, going with his left foot, but tries to take it early, and I don't know why. Another highlight 52 minutes in. Once again, we intercept Badiashile. Camavinga's going to look for a ball. Lukaku heads down to Yeremy Pino. He's been awful so far today. He's going to cut inside, and that was just god-awful. He had basically an entire half of the net to aim at, and he hit it as close to the goalkeeper as physically possible. But there still might be an attack on. Jose Mourinho finds Yeremy Pino once again. Can he have a better ball this time? Crosses in, finds Lukaku, but a good block. Who was that? Declan Rice. Highlights are coming thick and fast in this second half. We had 2 in the first half. I think this is our 3rd of the second half, and we're only 56 minutes in. And this actually could be our 3rd highlight for us this half when we had 0 in the first. Havertz is going to go back to Camavinga. Finds Jose Mourinho. Finds Yeremy Pino. Better ball this time. It is. Yeremy Pino, probably their best attacking player, gets the goal, and we bring it level. 56 minutes in, 1-1. We are back in this. Another highlight. Throw into this right-hand side. Jimmy Wong puts it in. I mean, if I had another right back, I probably would take Jimmy Wong out. He's on a yellow, and he gave away a penalty. And he might have just given the ball away again, which led to a goal, which he did. I do not like Jimmy Wong. I think I've decided I do not like him at all. He gave away 1 penalty, and then I guess he didn't give the ball. It was Cerezo, was it? He had the throw in, but Cerezo just runs into his own man, gives the ball away, and then, I mean, so frustrating. We have given them 2 simple goals thanks to boneheaded mistakes. It took a while, but we finally have another highlight. About 88 minutes in, and we're going to kick it long. Rice is going to bring it down, but I thought Lukaku would be able to get on the end of it, but he doesn't. Ruben Neves finds Rota. We definitely need to get the ball back and get a goal because I do not want to lose this game, and we're going to lose this game. I mean, that's the first goal that they've probably deserved. We handed them 2, and they finally got 1 on their own. Mo Salah with the assist. And that's game over. First game as Chelsea manager, and we were dreadful. 5 minutes at a time. We've got a highlight. We need 2 goals in 5 minutes. From what I've seen so far, that is extremely unlikely. Jimmy Wong, we've gone on allowed to. We've thrown everybody forward, everybody on attack, 2 strikers, everything we can. Cerezo finds Alex Mariba, and there's 1. Okay, Laiks. That's a goal, but I've got a feeling it's not going to matter. If we hadn't given them 2 free goals, we would have won this game. That is so frustrating. But I don't know. Should I be frustrated or optimistic? Probably both, because we probably should have won, but we also lost. So that's frustrating, obviously. Or have we lost? A minute later, we've got a highlight. Oh, this is probably going to be a Liverpool goal, ain't it? Rota, is this a Gravenberch hat trick? It feels like a Gravenberch hat trick. Oh no, Badiashile gets rid of it. Yeremy Pino can't win it. Nusa finds Gronsveld, who finds Diaz. Good save and block, and Gravenberch nearly had his hat trick. Gronsveld hits over, but that's a Liverpool attack, which is not what I wanted. But we are going to see the corner. Can this be a Chelsea counterattack off a Liverpool attack and a subsequent corner? Probably not. It's nearly a freaking goal. It probably should have been. Okay, can this highlight stop? Because I don't think this is going to be for us. Okay, they score. I mean, they had about 4 shots on target in about 30 seconds, so that's annoying. They do eventually score a freaking wonder goal, but we have been dreadful. I don't know if Mendy's made a save. I mean, it's a good finish. It's a really good finish. Nothing Mendy could do there, but good lord, our defending's been god-awful. So in our first game as Chelsea manager, we get humped 4-2. Yeah, I think I know why Frank Lampard got fired. He apparently doesn't like to defend because Ruggeri, the left back I thought I would need to improve on, was horrific. And we conceded 4 goals, and we had no ability to change it because we only have 4 defenders. I definitely see an issue here. Probably should have sacked him earlier. Well, that wasn't the start I hoped for, but we've got the rest of the transfer window to improve this team, and hopefully we can turn things around. If not, I might get sacked. I don't want that to happen. Jimmy Wong is also suspended for next match, which isn't ideal considering we don't have a single other player that can play anywhere in the defense. We might play Callum Hudson-Odoi at right wing back, I guess. That's literally the only option we have, basically. or McCall, who can also play right wing back, who's going to be leaving because he sucks. So yeah, we've got a transfer window, we've got plenty of money, and we're going to be spending it. We need basically maybe 4 more defenders, another left back, if not 2, another center back, if not 2, if not 3 even. Probably okay at right back, maybe another young player that can step in case we need him, because we currently have a suspended and injured right back. Well, 2 injured right backs and a suspended right back, so not ideal. Possibly goalkeeper, probably striker as well. Be either a starter or a backup. Other than that, I think we'll be all right, even though Gavi was awful today. Havertz was awful today. I still think there's other areas we need that I can't really justify spending money there when I've got these other massive holes in defense, especially in net striker. So changes will be made. Some new players are coming in, probably some sporting players. I mean, if I don't buy them, somebody's going to, so I might as well. Luckily, we've got Norwich up next to our 19th, so we should be able to smash them and feel good about ourselves again. But then it's second place Manchester United away. Awesome. But when we come back, I don't think I'm going to show this Manchester United match. They're probably going to hump us. But Aston Villa, they are 8th place. They are kind of our rivals right now, trying to get back into these Europa League spots. Whenever Newcastle or whenever Liverpool would have been really nice, because we're now, what, 6 points behind them, and they're in that 6th position. Not ideal, but we need to pass Aston Villa first if we're going to get there. So definitely a team we need to be playing. Definitely a team we need to be beating. So I'll be coming back for that match. And probably Southampton, who are somehow 3rd. Don't know how. But Southampton are 3rd. Aston Villa are 8th. Come back for those 2 games. We've got an FA Cup match, which we should be absolutely destroying them. They're in the League 2. So that should be comfortable. First game didn't go well. Hopefully we can turn things around. We can get this team playing like we had Sporting playing. And win this league and possibly win a Champions League. But if I'm still here 7 years in the future, something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell? The links to all my socials and my Twitch are in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.